Great. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Akshay. I'm a major in biomedical engineering at Stony Brook University, and I went to Italy for my study abroad during the winter.
Great. Can you tell us why you decided to do a study abroad program?
So my biggest factor in why I decided to do a study abroad program was the academic experience. So I got to get closer to my graduation by doing a class in a totally different environment. Also, the New York weather, it was quite cold during the winter, so it was nice to actually just go to Rome, at the same time finish one of my graduation requirements, and that was my initial reason for actually going to study abroad. So
great. Can you tell us if financial concerns were a factor for you when deciding to go abroad? How were you able to pay for your study abroad?
Financial concerns are always a factor, I think, especially since you're in the US. When you do travel abroad, it tends to get quite expensive, especially with regards to flight. But luckily, I did manage to save up quite a bit while I was working during my internship, during the summers before. So I was able to support myself, and my family also pitched in, so it really helped.
Great. Can you share any experiences, either direct or indirect, where you observed or experienced stereotypes or discrimination, and how did you handle those while you were abroad?
Oh, wow. Well, personally, the trip was absolutely fantastic. So Italy is an extremely friendly country with amazing people, great food, and it's a great experience. But the fact of the matter is that whenever you do go abroad with a group, especially the ones I went abroad with, there's an initial cultural friction, and which is normal, I guess. So the students that did go there, who came with me, they did have a bit of a hard time adapting to the way Italians did things. So maybe if they want to go out for lunch or have a coffee at 2, the place is closed, and they were like, they couldn't make much sense out of the initial friction of why Italians were the way they were passionate about food, and the way you're not supposed to be loud everywhere. So all of that was sort of like for the first week. But as soon as we got into the way of, the culture, we sort of understood like how we should behave ourselves, how we should dress, and, not wear sweatpants while going out somewhere later in the day, and ideas like that. So as a group, we learned a lot more about the culture, but going there was absolutely no event in which I felt that our group was ever discriminated against. Of course, there are points where you're like, hey, loud Americans sort of thing, but we sort of fulfilled that. We were quite loud on the metro, the public transport, and you can imagine. So that's definitely part of the experience, I guess.
Okay, great. So any last words of advice for students who are thinking about going abroad or who haven't been abroad yet?
I think the biggest factor about studying abroad is that you have to be open to new experiences. So especially if you've never studied abroad or traveled abroad, a lot of things are going to be new. You might have a tough time adapting all of a sudden. You most definitely will have a culture shock. But the idea is to go with the flow, relax, take a deep breath, look around, and you're in a really, really beautiful country, wherever it is. If it's Italy, Japan, it's somewhere that's completely new to you. So relax, take a deep breath, and realize that you're having the time of your life. But you got to put your mind to it. So I think that would be my best advice. And other than that, do it.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.